What's going on, guys? Back with another one today. And today we're going to be making homemade ice cream, a fan favorite for everybody. And don't forget, we have merch coming out at the end of the month. You got to hit that up too. It's going to be control group, experimental group merch, and that ice cream merch is dropping, so should be styling for Christmas this year. But yeah, don't forget to like the video. And yeah, here we go. So we're gonna be making ice cream today, and let me get a good stance on. There we go. All right, so that's where I'm gonna be at. And I gotta get on all my safety equipment here. So what I've got is I got my gloves right here. I have to make sure I wear these because it might get a little bit cold during the experiment with ice and everything. Make sure you always wear gloves during the experiment. You don't have to wear anything long sleeve because we're not dealing with anything like any chemicals that will spill on your arms or your skin and dissolve. But make sure you're always wearing gloves and goggles too to get into good habits for labs. I'm also wearing closed-toed shoes as well, my Yeezys. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, here we go. So in this experiment, I've got my milk right here, and that's one of the things. I've got my whipping cream right here. I've got vanilla right here. I've got kosher salt right here, and we're going to be using that a little bit later when we test out the ice cream, when we mix it with the ice. I've got granulated sugar right here, and this is a big one right here, and it's like one of the most important things is this, just in case you spill, because I do a lot of that. So I got my bowl right here, 1 spoon for mixing the solution around, and I've already got one made just so this video goes a little bit faster, and it kind of looks like this. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. And I've also got my Shrek bowl right here. This is like an essential one too. And yeah, I've got my teaspoons. And that's basically all you have to do. So for this, you basically got to take 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. So you just got to take it one at a time. Mix it around a little bit. Keep dumping. Sorry, I'm spilling everywhere. Jeez. Sorry to all the perfectionists. Okay. Not even close. Gotta keep going. Okay, that's good. I don't want to make it too sugary either because it's pretty bad for me. Okay. So this is what it looks like so far. Just sugar in there. Mix it around a little bit. Okay. So now we take this cup, actually, put this one to the side, and we're going to dump 1/2 cup of milk. So it'll be like this. Okay, that's about good. Oh. Dump that in there. Okay. Put a cap on this too, just so it doesn't spill. Okay, so now this is what the solution looks like. You gotta mix it up a little bit too so it doesn't get caught on the sides. It'll like to do that. And now we take our whipping cream. When I went to the store, I thought it was whipped cream, and I was kind of confused, but it's whipping cream. To make cookies and ice cream and a bunch of other desserts. So now we take 1/2 cup of this too. Okay, that's good. Put the cap on that. Dump that in there. And now we take 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And yes, this is going to be vanilla ice cream. Put that in there. And now we mix the solution. Put cap. Okay, so at first it's gonna be like heavy, you kinda gotta get it going. You're gonna feel the solution at the bottom, so that's when you kinda gotta start mixing it here. I'll lift it up a little bit. You just gotta keep putting it around until you don't feel it anymore, and that's when you dump it out, because I got a glass over here. And I dump it in my glass, and I dump it into this little Ziploc bag right here. That's basically how I made my first bag of ice cream. Yep, keep going, trying to get any caught on the side, like I said. You go a little reverse, switch it up a little bit, huh? Yeah. And I think that should be about good. So, now we take our glass, dump this carefully, please, don't spill. Nice. Okay. We got all that in there. This also takes like major skill right here. So I know this might be hard with gloves too, but you gotta wear them. So you gotta put the Ziploc bag around the cup like that, perfect. And now what I do is I hold the sides so it doesn't spill out the sides tightly, if you can. Now you dump it into the Ziploc bag. Major skill. Yeah. So I take the cup out like that. If you don't have major skill, then just like grab another person, have them hold it open, and just, you guys can do it that way too. That works. And try to get all the air from the bag out if you can too. It just helps too. Make sure it's tight so it doesn't spill as well. So now we've got both those solutions ready to go. So I'm gonna go grab the bags of ice from over here real quick. Hang on. So we've got 2 bags of ice right here. And for this, I put basically 4 cups of ice into each Ziploc bag. So this is 4 cups of ice right here. And the other one is 4 cups of ice, they're the same. And what we do is we open this bag, and we're now going to take a cup of salt. So I'm going to dump this into here. There we go. Now I'm going to dump a cup of salt. Keep going, keep going. It's getting there. I gotta fill up this side, jeez. Okay, that's about a cup, that's good. So then now we take this cup, and this is where the experiment actually happens. This is like basically the reaction right here. So we're going to do in this experiment a control group, and we're going to do an experimental group. So this is going to be the experimental group right here. So now we're going to take this ice, and dump it. This ice, I meant the salt. Mistake, my bad. We're going to take the salt and we're going to dump it into the ice bag. We can get maybe a little bit more salt out of there. And now take that, maybe mix it up a little bit. Try to get a lot of the ice. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to take this bag right here. We're going to put it in the ice. Then we take some ice, grab it, throw it on the top. You know, the whole shazam. Okay, now we're going to take this. throw it into the other bag. Okay, now I'm just gonna let that sit really quick, and I have to try to find my thermometer. There it is. Okay. It was at 64 degrees, so this is gonna drop a lot. So it's at 25 right now, 21, 17. This is the one with ice in it, so it's gonna be the melting point is gonna be a lot lower. That's another good term right there, melting point. And that means the temperature at which a substance changes from a solid to a liquid. So this melting point is probably going to be fairly lower, the one that has the salt in it. And still dropping, it's at -5 right now. And this is what we're going to record as well on our table. So we're going to record the temperature of each bag. So it's at -7, still dropping. Oh, I think we hit. So it's at -6.5 for this bag. So this is the one that has the regular ice if you're just gonna make the regular ice cream without salt in it. And this is gonna, I'm telling you, it's gonna take a lot longer for this bag as well to make the ice cream. And yeah, it's at 14 degrees. So that's basically our temperature right there is 14 degrees. So it's almost a 20-degree swing. So now is the longer part of the experiment. We're going to take both these bags, and now that they have ice, we're going to have to we're going to shake them around until they create ice cream. So, make sure, actually, yeah, we have to get all this air out of here. So make sure all the air is out of this bag as well, because that air could affect our experiment. Now that we've got the air out of that bag, everything's tight, good to go. I'll make sure that all the air is out of this bag as well. And yeah, we got basically both those bags ready. So now in the front, I'm gonna have the regular bag with just no ice or no salt in it, and then the back is the one with salt. And now we gotta take these and basically do this. It's gonna be loud. And I might edit parts of this video because it's gonna be a little bit longer. And just to let you guys know, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the scientific method. So the first part of the scientific method, there's 6 parts to a scientific method. So when we talk about the scientific method, we start out with the first step, which is to observe the experiment. And what we do by observing is we basically observe by looking at 5 previous slabs and seeing what we can figure out about this slab to add to it. And then for research, we kind of look what we wrote before, and we go according to that research as well. So we can look back at our directions and see what we have to do to create a hypothesis, which is the third step to the scientific method. And for the hypothesis, it's basically like a very well-educated guess to the experiment. And this educated guess is what we use like observable research for this experiment. And then the next one is the actual experiment itself. So this is basically testing our hypothesis. And then the analysis is the 5th step, which is like recording the temperature, which is what we did, and maybe recording like how much of the ingredients we used in the experiment and how much time it maybe took for the experiment to happen. And so far it's basically been a minute or two. I'm keeping track in my head, don't worry guys. And then the last one is the conclusion to the experiment. It's basically like review data and talk it over with other lab partners, or maybe think about the 6 steps again. And then yeah, you got your table ready. Maybe writing about it would be a good way, like a lab report, or because this is especially for little kids too. Maybe just a conclusion is just to eat the ice cream. That's a good conclusion. And basically like a good word to use if this ever came up in like a test, or just a good saying to remember is or heck. And the observe, research, hypothesis, experiment, analyze, and then the conclusion. So just a little fun word. I know it's cringy, but we do cringy around here, boys. And oh my gosh, my glasses are fogging up. That's another problem too. Is my glasses always fog up too. Yeah, you can already see the ice kind of melting right there. Whew, need to take a little break. A good arm workout for you guys too. Yeah, the one with salt in it, you can definitely tell has melted a lot quicker. So now what we're kind of waiting for is this ice to kind of harden, the solution to kind of harden, so then it will form ice cream. I was just checking the solution there, sorry. Gotta get the air back out. Make sure this closes. Now back to the grind. Maybe switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna sit down. Okay. So this is what the bag here, I'm gonna get a little bit closer than that. I'm coming over, hang on. So this is what the bag looks like that had the salt in it. You can see the salt at the bottom, but you could also see the solution, or the ice, the water, has melted at the very bottom. So a lot of this ice is actually already gone, and I can feel that the ice cream is now ready to probably eat. And it's been 10 minutes, so I've been doing this for 10 minutes now, just shaking the bag. And I probably cut a little bit out, but yeah, just keep doing that. About 7 or 8 minutes in, you could feel it start to harden. Just whenever you start to feel it like harden in the bag, just give it maybe a minute or two. That was after about like 7 or 8 minutes. So just do a couple more minutes after that, and then it's probably ready to go. I will take the temperature of this just to show you guys what the final temperature is after the bag is ready. So, and you can't, in this, you can see the solution isn't even close to being melted yet, or solidified in this bag. You can still see there's still a bunch of ice in there. This is without the salt, so you can tell this is the control group. It's going to take me a long time for this to get to ice cream, but I'm going to do it. It's going to take a lot of time. So that's been 10 minutes now. So now I'm going to take a Shrek bowl. As you can see, this is already kind of hardened. So this is ice cream now. And I bet this is going to taste pretty good. So, kind of look like mashed potatoes. So I kind of squeeze it out of the bag. Yep, there it goes. You guys can get as much out of the bag as you want. I'm just going to do a little bit. There we go, that's probably good. Now I'm going to take the temperature of this really quick. So I'm going to take this, put it in here. So now this is the temperature after the bag is done and the ice cream is made. So make sure you're recording the temperature too. So it's still dropping, 8 degrees, 7. It was at -4 at the very start, or 6 or something. Still going. Okay, so it's about at 7 degrees. So you can, what happens basically is how this works is that this salt and this water basically combine together to make sure the freezing point goes down. So that's why we're getting crazy temperatures like -14, and the melting point was also changing as well. So since this solution is warmer than the ice, and when the salt is combined, basically they combine together, they attract to the warm solution, and that's how we get basically ice cream. So I'm going to take off my goggles here. I don't think you need goggles to eat the ice cream. So here's what I'm going to eat. That's some good stuff, guys.